August is quickly slipping away, cooler weather is upon us, and Christmas 2024 is right around the corner. Christmas is a big deal in my household. Both my mother and I really enjoy the Christmas decoration, and for as long as I can remember, we've always had a pretty elaborate display for the season. Since I moved out, I start a little bit earlier now. My objective is to have everything done by the last week of November, because it's such a big production. If you don't have it up for at least a good 2 months, it's like what's the point of doing all this work? So I start pretty early. I actually start figuring stuff out in October. We start going through the electrical, figuring out how much power we need to allocate in different areas. I'm spending a lot of time downstairs here moving boxes around, sorting out what I need and what I'm going to put in different areas. This year, the main objective of improvement is going to be the electrical, because the way it was connected last year was just atrocious. So this year I'm going to run a couple new circuits, design some custom outlets, and have things hopefully much more simple than it was last year. That's going to start very soon. That's why we're starting so early this year, because it's going to take some time to run those wires and design everything. So that's going to be coming out not next week or the following week, but hopefully by the end of September we'll be into those projects. So I figured the best way to start off this year's video season is to take a look at a bunch of the stuff that I got since last Christmas. This is most of it. There's a couple strings of lights that I just don't know where they are. They're probably buried deeper in the pile, but this was the stuff that I could remember and find. So we've got a bunch of different things here. We've got some lighted decorations, we've got some village pieces, we've got one Christmas tree. So let's get started. We'll start on the right and move over to the left. So to begin, we have a Christmas tree. This is a lighted, one of those window figures that you hang in the window. And unfortunately it is definitely showing its age. You can see that the lights have yellowed from the sun exposure. So I guess it hung in the window with this side facing out. Let's see if this works. It does. It's going to need some replacement bulbs. And with these small strings, it's very important to replace the bulbs as soon as they go out, because the voltage, these bulbs are probably 2, 4, 6, these might be 6-volt bulbs. When they're wired in series, so when the bulbs start to go out, the voltage goes up on the rest of them. With the 1.5 and 2.5 volt bulbs, the difference is less drastic because it's only 1.5 volts. But now, if you get, let's say we've got 3 bulbs out, that's 18 volts being pushed through the rest of the string. Now granted, once you divide it out among all these bulbs, it's still not that much, but over time it'll start to burn the bulbs out quicker. So we need to get those replaced. Looks like the bottom is red. I'm not sure why the base of a tree would be red. It should have been brown. Are there any brown lights? I don't know. I feel like there are, because we used to have like a palm tree thing that was lighted, and the stem had lights on it. Maybe they were amber. I don't remember. But yeah, so that's working. It's got a little yellow light up there for the star. That's pretty cool. I think that these bulbs might be a little difficult to find. Last year I was starting to have trouble finding bulbs, especially these oddball ones that are not just a regular 2.5 volts. Unfortunately, replacement bulbs have become so expensive that it's not economical to buy them. You're better off just buying a new string of lights and taking the bulbs for spares, which of course poses a bunch of ethical issues, because now you're wasting all the wire. But you know, if the string is $3 and it's got 100 bulbs in it, and then the replacement box to replace a bulb is like $10 for 50. It just doesn't make any sense. So that was an issue that developed last year. That's been brewing, but it's getting worse. But anyways, that's a whole different issue. That's piece number one. Piece number two is a wreath. This is a non-lighted wreath. And I closed up so well that I cannot get it open. You're kidding. I don't usually tie things that tight intentionally. There we go. Nope. What the heck did I do to this? I don't know, but it's something I ain't never doing again, that's for sure. Wow. You have got to be kidding. This is outrageous. We're about 2 minutes away from just cutting this open. I hate to waste a perfectly good bag, but this is not worth the time. Alright, there we go. So this is a very interesting wreath. It's comprised of a bunch of little snow-covered pine cones. That's what the wreath look like. It's pretty unique. I don't know how old this is, but it looks like it's older to me. It seems like it might be an 80s or 90s product. It's got that like old-fashioned molded plastic kind of feel to it. It's in very good condition still. I imagine it probably was not stored in an attic. These are good. Everything about this is sturdy still. Nice thick wreath too. This was $8. Not too bad. I don't know what I did wrong with tying this up before, but whatever it was did not work. So, you know what I bet would make this easier? If I cut this like this, and then we can just do some kind of conventional knot. That might alleviate this fiasco. I would imagine that this is better. Yeah, that should come undone fine next time. Good, that solved that. Alright, next we have, fresh from the trash, some Icicle lights. Now, one of these fell off of there. It was like that when I got it. I just put it in the bag and it fell out. Get that back in there. Okay. So these I got out of the trash. These are Icicle lights. Even got the hooks with them. It's unbelievable what people throw out. So here's the Icicle lights. There's at least 3 strings here, based on the fact that we've got 3 plugs. And I tested these when I first got them, and I could not believe that they all worked. Now these are polarized, which means they're fairly new, and they're going to be a pain in the neck trying to connect them on the roof because most of the strings are not polarized. Let's see, it looks like we might have an additional string that's not plugged in. Maybe there's 4 strings in here. Yeah, this is not plugged in, is it? So it looks like it might be like 1 segment that's out. But I mean, for the most part, these are working. This string is all good. This string is all good here. So there's a little bit of, and maybe there's 2 segments that are out, but for the most part these work. And these are the nicer ones that have the long icicles still. The ones you buy today are so short. My grandfather has some real old ones, and some of the icicles are like 1.5 feet long. They look real nice. But these aren't too bad. That's probably like maybe 12 or 15 inches. I don't need any more icicles at this time. I bought a large quantity of them at the store because I wanted all the strings to match when I set them up. But even just for the bulbs, because as we discussed before, the bulbs are becoming difficult to find. That's worth it alone just for the bulbs. Next we have a sphere, which was $3, and it's split apart. I don't know if it's, I think that this is probably was rubber at one point, and now it just deteriorated and doesn't hold it together anymore. So likely just a new rubber band would solve that. This works. Seems to work 100% too. I was missing one of these, 2 of them, 3 of them. But I should be able to get some replacements for those. This is a little plastic molded holly and bells. It's a little tabletop thingy. We got some greenery with a candy cane and a bird. Although the bird has seen better days. The bird needs some help, but this is really nice, realistic greenery. Next we have some giant light bulbs. These are probably about C30. The bag is taped shut. It's an interesting one. comfortably have mini lights inside. And then this is just a big cover. Sometimes these are C9, but yeah, these are definitely mini lights. Let's see if these are going to work. Some of them are working, the 2 strings. Okay, the second string is not working, so this will need some repair. Looks like they have 2 mini lights apiece, and these bulbs have the bigger filament. I bet these are the 12-volt bulbs. This is so hard to get this back in the frame because it's inverted. Yeah, it looks like a 12-volt bulb to me. Alright, so that needs repairs. These unfortunately are not in the best of condition because of how they were put in the bag. They're all just been scraping up against each other on the way home. But nothing I can do about that. That's just the way they came. I would not use these outside. I don't think that they would hold up in the elements. Use them in the house somewhere. Alright, next we have are these the rest of the lights? Oh, there's one more thing in the garage I can show. Here we have a string of snowflake lights. These are twinkling snowflake lights. We bought 3 of these back in the early 2000s, and I have used them almost every single year since then, and they all still work by some miracle. And I think that these still work as well. Some of the lights need to be put back in the flakes, but that's not a big deal. These are rare. These are hard to find, and they're really cool. They are in fact twinkling. The next string is in terrible condition. It's all probably squirrels. It's all like chewed apart and busted. So this might make a really good video trying to put this back together. It's going to be a serious challenge. But I really like these old lights with the plastic covers on them. One of the bulbs just broke. So most likely this is going to need all new bulbs and some new wiring. But so that might make an interesting project. This string is just a basic string of white lights, but it's a very old one with the thin wires and the long spacing. Go ahead and test these right quick. Oh, they're half out. I thought they worked when I first got them. Alright, well that's going to go into the need repair pile as well. And then we got some plates. We've got a spoon holder, Wreath. This is all from the trash. That's from the trash. This little Santa bowl from the trash. It's not dishwasher safe, which is unfortunate. Snowman dish from the trash, also not dishwasher safe. These fancy holly dish or plate made in China. It does not say if it's dishwasher safe or not. And I guess this is more of a fall decoration. I got this one, and I got this one, but these are fall. These are not really Christmas. So I'm going to leave those out because we're going to be using these within a month. Because it is almost fall. Alright, so that's all of that. Next we have some candle lamps. These are trimmings The heck is etk? Whatever, brass candle lamp. I kind of like the box. It was almost pretty much the only reason why I got these. They were $2, and since I like the box, we should try to remove this before it gets too stuck on there. I did get these within like the last month or so. We should be able to take this off still. I really dislike these new stickers that the Goodwill started using some time ago. They're very difficult to remove. I find it hard to believe that people moving the prices around is that big of an issue at a thrift store. Maybe it is, I don't know. I don't run one, I don't know what goes on there. This one is not coming off nicely at all. This is what typically happens. I don't know how old these are, but I suspect these are owned by somebody that's older. Based on this thing on the top that says checked January 2023, has bulb. There's a bunch of these there. It's definitely something that somebody had enough for the whole house. These are sold at Bradley's for $5. I remember that store. It's been gone for a very long time, probably more than 20 years. I do remember going there though. It was the store was all like red themed, and they had red telephones. I can't remember if they were 210s or 2554s, but they had a bunch of red telephones hanging on the walls that I thought was interesting. So there's these. Well, these actually might be fairly old. Yeah, nicely put back in the package here. There's the bulb down there. Oh gosh, another one inside here? You gotta be kidding me. Really that concerned about somebody changing the price on $2? It's ridiculous. This is not coming off. It's got sticky residue everywhere. This really is annoying that they put this type of sticker. It should be something that removes fairly easily, and this it just does not. It ruins the finish on things. So anyways, this is what they look like. Bulb replacement, 7 watts max. Nice felt base. I doubt it's solid brass, but it's at least fairly heavy metal. That clear brass colored cord. Decent switch. And that bulb is a Looks like a flame tip bulb. If it's not the original, that's the same thing that it would have come with. We'll just test one of these. I don't see a reason to test both. I'm sure they work anyways. Nope, it's working. This says good 2008 and this says good 2023. So these have to be at least from 2008. This is a different style bulb. This is a torpedo bulb. It's probably a 7 watt. Well, these actually do have some age to them. Alright, last we have a fiber optic Chateau pine, or Chateau pine, whatever it is, from December Home. Fiber optic Chateau pine, 32-inch, 82.3 lifelike cone tips. Okay, that's a bit of a stretch. 50 multicolor snowflake lights. I don't know what a snowflake light is. Fiber optic twinkle pattern. No tools needed to assemble. This is the first fiber optic tree I've seen that has regular lights as well. I've really taken a liking to these fiber optic trees. At this point, I pretty much buy them anytime I see them. This one was only $5. And even if it's missing the adapter, I still think that that's $5 well spent. So it's got this for the lights, but I imagine that it needs an AC to DC wall wart to power the fiber optic aspect. Yeah, it does. There's an input jack right there. The question is now, what the heck voltage does it call for? Let's see, do the lights work? The lights work. I guess those are snowflake lights. To me, those are just regular mini lights. Those have very nice coloring to them. You can tell those are older. Colors are still very vivid, even to me. There's no manual in here. Well, let's see if we can open this up and take a look at some of the components in there, because maybe usually these have like a what do you call it, motor, a synchronous motor in there that turns a, in fact you can probably, that's probably it right there. It's a synchronous motor that turns like a cylindrical color wheel. Not a cylindrical, a circular color wheel. A circular wheel. Duh! Let's just open it up and see what's in here. Like there's something you can probably unscrew there. These should be able to come apart because you'd have to be able to change the bulb, I would think. This does not have anything to do with it. It's just making a mess. There's clips on the top here. I suppose if it breaks, it breaks. I mean, I can get a new base for the just for the basic lights. It's not usable as it is. I think that this might turn. There we go. Okay. Alright, so there's the color wheel I was talking about. And it appears that the bulb is wired straight to the power supply. So, fortunately, we'll be able to determine what voltage it calls for just by the bulb. Bulb says 12 volts. So it likely just needs a 12 volt power supply. 12 volts DC. I wonder if I have one floating around. I probably do have one somewhere. If I don't, I'm sure I can source one easily. There's all sorts of things that use 12 volt power supplies. A lot of routers and so forth use 12 volt power supplies, switches, etc. Let me see if I can find one somewhere around the house right quick. Here's one from a GE corded to cordless telephone. The polarity should not matter because it's just a light bulb and a synchronous motor. Oh, you know what? I wonder if this takes... Will this take 12 volts AC? Because of that synchronous motor? I wonder if that's why the synchronous motor's not moving. This adapter is 9 volts AC. This might power. At worst, the light will just come on kind of dim. Yeah, it is. It needs AC. So we need to find a 12 volt AC to AC adapter. That's not going to be as easy. But it seems like it's working just fine with this one. And since this did not work with that telephone that I had, that it was given to me with, maybe I'll just assign it to this. The bulb should last longer running on 9 volts versus 12. And this is hard to believe, but when this bulb burns out, I'll probably replace it with a DEL. This is one of those very few use cases where a DEL is acceptable. Okay, so now we should be able to see this operate in full. Nice. We can actually put a brighter, higher wattage DEL bulb in there to give it some more brightness too. I like these so much. They're so interesting to look at. Alright, we've got one piece left. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just pair this adapter with this unit for now. You'll see the color wheel turning in there. I might just go ahead and buy a DEL and replace it if I don't have one on hand. I know I bought a box of DEL bulbs to put in a different tree. I don't remember if it was a box of 1 or 2, or if it's even the same size. Alright, so now that we know that it's working, go ahead and slip it back into the box here, which is severely damaged. I guess I'll put it back in upside down because that's the only way that the box is going to hold it. That went about as poorly as it possibly could. Not sure I really want to try to force that to latch. I don't think it's worth it. Probably just end up storing this in a different box. At the end of the year, this box is so damaged, it's not going to hold the tree anymore. Alright, last piece, which is pretty interesting. This is a Mr. Christmas Winter Holiday Inn. But it's musical. This has the AC adapter, which is probably an AC to AC. Nope, this one's AC to DC. I think this is yellowed. And the plastic sounds very brittle. It doesn't look yellow on the box at all. That's kind of unfortunate. That must have been stored in an attic. So I think there's like magnets under here, and all these... Oh no, I guess there's no magnets. That's just the whole surface. So that, it must be one motor that spins the whole thing, I guess. So we've got a switch in the back. It says Christmas carols or year-round songs. The date code is Q18, whatever that means. Alright, so we have some trouble here. It sounds like one part of the disc is scraping somewhere, so I'll have to check that out. It's very loud. It's got a high pressure sodium lamp post and a high pressure sodium lighthouse atop. It's kind of disappointing that there's nothing lit up in between here. Like the bottom is nice and the top is nice, but everything else is dark. Let's switch it to year-round songs. Oh, I guess it doesn't switch until... I don't recognize these songs. I think it listed the music on the box somewhere. It plays 15 Christmas carols and 15 year-round classics. Oh no. I just realized I have to cut that whole segment out because those songs are probably copyright. Duh. Well, I guess I'll have to redo this segment and I'll just keep the audio off. So this is what the music sounds like. It's got 30 songs, 15 are Christmas carols, and 15 are year-round classics. So there's a problem with this. It's hitting something somewhere. So I have to open this up and check that out. I feel like that's going to be a pain to fix. As far as the unit itself goes, it's a little disappointing because the bottom is nicely lit up. It's even got a high pressure sodium lamp post, and it's got a high pressure sodium light on the top, and it's got nothing in between. The whole thing's dark, so I guess this was not intended to be used in the dark. This is intended to be used with lights around it. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to open this up and try to repair that. It does have some screws on the bottoms. Hopefully that's not too big of a deal. Well, that's that. That's a wrap for all the stuff I got this summer, or probably 95% of it. So the next Christmas video will be starting to work on some of the electrical aspects of this coming year's display.